This is the Rock and Metal Faith podcast. Standing at the crossroads, faith, rock and roll. Rockin', rockin' metal faith. All right, welcome back to the Rock and Metal Faith podcast.
Welcome, everybody.
I'm your host,
Good.
Aaron Rothman, and this is Chris.
It's Chris Cool.
Mr. Cool. Hey, how you doing?
Yes.
Just so everybody knows, I'm going to throw this in first. Although this doesn't come out on the day I record, we are recording on May the 4th.
What are you saying? This is going to come out like what, in July?
No. Because you know what? I'm a big Star Wars fan, so May the 4th is a big day for us.
Oh, okay.
I just had to throw that out there. How have you been, Chris? It's been a couple of weeks since we've had a chance
It's been
to talk.
a couple of weeks. Yeah, I've been good. How are you?
Good. Like I said, and aside from the music news right now, we're gonna get into a little bit of side stuff. The Oilers are on to round 2 of the playoffs.
Oh, that is so awesome. We could have a podcast just talking about the Oilers. Like,
I think there's probably
they
a lot
look
out
good
there.
for those who are in Japan and Germany. Just Google the Oilers. You won't get hitched. It'll be awesome. It's good. It'll be good. We'll see what happens against Vancouver next.
Yeah.
Have you watched any of the games?
A little bit, not much. I've watched the Oilers. Tried to watch Vancouver. We'll see how that series goes now because let's say Vancouver is my second favorite team, but it's still Oilers all the way for me right now.
I think I'm almost at the edge of hanging up on you when you said that you're a fan of Vancouver. I don't know about that.
And
we might have to go with the friendship counseling here about that.
We can be fans of other teams as well as the Oilers.
I know. It's just like the last Sunday there was a guy came in and I was doing security. He had a Vancouver jersey. I'm like, "Come with me, please." And his face was like, "What did I do?" So I take him and I put him in a room by himself, and it was just for fun. I was just bugging him.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, we're gonna keep you here because we don't want anybody to see you with your Vancouver jersey. Are you willing to take it off and we'll keep it secure?" I'm like, I'm kidding. So,
all right, shall we get on to the real news? Actually, it's been a couple of weeks since we've done news. Because last week we had an interview with Mark.
Yes,
from
that's right.
Sweet Crystal.
Sweet Crystal. That's right.
So we kind of skipped all the news and all the usual stuff. So we got quite a bit of news to get forward with. First piece of news, before I forget, because I didn't write this down. So Dale Thompson from Bride made an announcement on his Facebook page, or one of his posts, anyways, on Facebook, anyways, that Bride is back to playing live.
Ooh.
They're going to be at Immortal Fest, and we're going to talk more about that probably in a future episode. Actually, I think that might be Immortal Fest might be a good idea for episode idea. However,
we might have to get the promoter.
Oh, that could be good too. I was just going to talk about some of the bands that are going to be there.
Oh, okay.
I've been looking about that. At that. That's a stellar lineup for those of you who can get down to Immortal Fest.
Where is it? Is Washington?
I'm not sure, and I didn't know much about it until I looked up. But it covers 2 weekends. It's two weekends, 2 different months.
You said it's Immortal Fest?
Immortal Fest.
Immortal. IMOR.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk more about that later. But anyways, Bride will be playing live at one of those weekends. I think they plan on other dates as well. In fact, Dale Thompson even was on Facebook. They were saying, we're looking at people's favorite songs. Message me, comment on here. What are your favorite songs? What should we put together as a set list? I thought about doing that, but they're not going to get up here to Canada, so I don't think
Not
I'll get a
yet.
chance to
No,
see them.
no.
And Dale's voice has changed over the years, so I don't know how well he can sing the classic material. It definitely won't sound the same as it did 30 years ago. A lot of people don't sound the same as they did 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But anyways, I know for a number of years they haven't played live because for the last, and I don't know when they moved, but for the last number of years, Dale was living in New Zealand. He got married, I believe, over New Zealand, or did he get married and move to New Zealand because his wife was from there? Something to that effect. Anyways, he's now coming back to the U.S., looking at trying to figure out how his wife can immigrate with him to the U.S. and start doing shows again in the U.S. So for the Bride fans in the U.S., that's great news.
Are they? Do you know if they are? Are they gonna? Is he gonna hook up with the remaining members of Bride, or do they have to regroup again?
Well, it will definitely be him and his brother, Troy Thompson, on guitars for sure. Over the years, I think it's always been kind of a revolving lineup on the rhythm section between the drums and bass. So who they currently have on drums, I haven't looked into that. That's actually a good question though. Who they will have on drums and on bass, I don't know. Maybe next time he's on Facebook, I should ask him.
Yeah, that would be a good question.
There you go. That could be next time on the podcast. We'll have an update on that. We got a lot of new music coming out. There's a new song. Oh, I should talk about this too. New song from Sunbomb. Sunbomb is a side project with Michael Sweet and Tracy Guns. Tracy Guns was of the band LA Guns, but Michael Sweet loves doing a lot of these side projects. And everybody kind of gets up in arms when he starts playing with non-Christian artists. But I think it's good. I heard the
I
first,
think it's good too.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I heard the first single off the new one. It's called Unbreakable. He has done a Sunbomb album before. I think it was a couple years ago. He's got a new one coming out under that name. So him and Tracy have done a second album. First song off there is called Unbreakable. Sounds pretty good. I'm liking it. What else we got here?
And that's by Michael Sweet, like by himself, like with this guy.
Yes, Michael Sweet and Tracy
Okay.
Guns. Again, I'd have to look up who's on the rhythm section there. Oh, maybe I was going to do that. Anyways, and on the Michael Sweet, Stryper is going on tour in support of their latest release, an acoustic album. It's all their hits done acoustic style type of thing, kind of redone. There's a new song on there called Amazing Grace. This is all really good. It was originally released as a CD, DVD, or Blu-ray bundle from their website. That actually sold out really quickly. And now they have just announced, that for those who didn't get a copy, it will be available on all streaming platforms as of May 10th. So probably by the time this comes out, you'll have heard it or have a chance to hear it. If you want to buy it, it will be available to buy, again, as CD, DVD, also on vinyl, and available on cassette. Yeah, you heard that. They are releasing this on cassette. Actually, some bands are starting to do that again. They are going on tour as of May 30th and calling this tour To Hell with the Amps. And after that, we can look forward to their electric album in the fall. Stryper has announced a 40th anniversary tour. They haven't announced what dates yet. There is going to be a new Stryper record. In fact, it's already recorded. It just has to be mixed and produced, put together type of thing. Everything, all the tracks have been laid for it. He thinks it's the best work yet. Well, no surprise there. I mean, again, if as an artist doesn't think their latest work is their best, why would they bother putting it out? You know?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, why the delay? Huh?
No. Uh, the new album, the full Stryper Electric album, is due out in the fall. I think they're looking at September, maybe October release. He says, and then they're gonna go on tour, and that will also coincide with Stryper's 40th anniversary. So
That works.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be a 40th anniversary tour. He's talking about doing something very unique because it's a 40th anniversary. He says we're gonna play we're actually gonna play 2 sets. The first set will be a lot of classic material, and then we'll come back and we'll do more of the newer stuff. And I think they're even gonna have like a costume change or clothing change in between the 2 sets and everything else like this. Sounds really cool. I'm hoping that they come to Edmonton, and I'm trying to get on there and say, hey, come to Edmonton, do a full Canadian tour, or at the very least, come here. And you know what? Recently, there's been a few shows coming here to Edmonton that I never thought I would see or hear coming here. So I'm hoping that maybe he will make it up here.
I don't know. It's quite. It's expensive for bands to come up here. That's the other thing.
It is, but you know what? In the in the category of Christians in a band, did you hear Extreme is coming up here? The band Extreme, no,
Oh, Extreme. Yeah.
and stuff. Hot new album, and they're coming up here a few months.
Yeah, but see the problem, the thing with that though, the reason they could come up, they have a pretty good record label, and there's a big promoter. Like he's coming. Like, do you remember the bar here in Edmonton used to be Union Station?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so me and a buddy of mine, we were eating across the street from it. It's now turned into a concert venue, and we were coming out because we bought some food. We bumped into the guy, the owner of it, and he's like, "Hey," I'm like, "What do you do with the old bar? I mean, I used to go there, 25 years ago." He's like, "Oh, it's a concert place now." He's like, "Yeah, we're bringing in guys like Extreme, some other guys." I'm like, "Well, you must have good capital to do that." He's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "We got the money to bring them in." So I'm like, "That's the key,
Oh,
right?"
definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
So I mean,
and you got to have a good venue.
yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Um, Also new music, and I think I was gonna pick that as a plugged it in song. So maybe I'll do that. Also new music, the band Signum Regis, who I've been getting into fairly recently. They've had, I've played a couple of their songs on the podcast, saying, "Hey, here's a band worth checking out." They had a new album out. I think it was last year. I picked it up. First time I discovered this band. They're actually not bad. They're, I believe, out of the Netherlands, out of Sweden, Norway, up there somewhere. Good powerhouse metal band. They released an album last year called Unbreakable. They just released another song, not on any album, just a single song called No Middle Ground. They said this was recorded at the time of the last record, but they felt the sound and tone of the song was different than the overall record and didn't really fit with the record, so they left it off. Now they've decided to release it to the public, and so that's available to buy on Apple Music or iTunes, listen to on Spotify, whatever. So I've heard it. Actually, it's not bad. Also came out. Oh, that came out on April 5th. Yeah, so about a month ago. And at the start of the year, and I didn't realize this until I was checking into some of their music on Apple there. They've done, and this came out this year in January, they've done a cover of Megadeth's Tornado of Souls. And it sounds pretty good, you know? And I think that's a cool song to cover. So
Wow.
so we got that out there. The other thing is Jamie Rowe. Remember Jamie Rowe from Guardian?
Yes.
He's got a new project out. I don't think he's actually released an actual album. Continues to release songs. There's enough songs out there on Spotify and Apple to put together an album. But so far, everything's just listed as about 10, 12 singles. But he's got a project called Kalamity Kills. Now, I listened to this when it first came out, when he first put the project together and first started releasing music there. He was making rounds on other podcasts, and I heard him talking, heard some of the music, and I've been listening to it over the last few weeks. Not bad. It's a little heavier. I think we'll, probably talk about that on a future episode. Maybe we'll do Guardian / Kalamity Kills or something like this. Here's the big thing too. I think the song has been out for a while. He's got a song called "The Chemistry of Meant to Be," and it's
Okay.
actually getting recognition. It has been played on Sirius FM on the Octane channel, and has hit number 49 on Billboard's Top 100. So there it is, and he's just released a new video for the song. So that's helping to generate promotion for the song.
You're gonna put that on our page, right?
Yeah, actually, I think I did release it. I think I forgot that I'd done it and ended up doing it twice. But if you go to the Rock and Metal Faith, not the podcast group though, but the actual Facebook page. Yeah. Okay, not the group page, but the actual web or Facebook page. Okay, we've got two pages out there now. Okay, so we've got the Rock and Metal Faith, the podcast group, and we've got Rock and Metal Faith on Facebook. Look for Rock and Metal Faith on Facebook. Sign up, become a member, or join or like our page on Facebook. You will find the video there.
And to our fans out there, stay in touch with us, please. We'd like to know how we're doing.
So you know what? Do both. Okay, look for the group page. Look for the actual page, Rock and Metal Faith. Leave comments, leave reviews, and become a member of both, just so that we can. Oh, and I didn't write this down too. Anyways, but become a member of both. No, because I was going to actually acknowledge the new members who were on the Facebook page, and I can't even look them. Oh wait, no, I think I did write that down.
If we have any new members, welcome. We're glad to have you. Thank you.
Let me see. I might have written them down.
Say hello.
Favorite tracks, Theocracy. Thought I wrote them down somewhere. Anyways, and yeah, I'm kind of flying by my seat here. Again, technology seems to fail me, and I'm recording this on my phone. I got a love-hate relationship with technology. I tell you, when it works, it's great, and when it doesn't, I absolutely hate it.
I know. As long as it doesn't, we don't lose you in the next 45 minutes or so.
Well, we shouldn't have a problem with that. Like I said, I'm on the phone. It's reliable. The only problem is past episodes, I've been doing it through the laptop, recording on the laptop, and then I got the phone handy to look up stuff that I forgot to look up, and or whatever like that. But since we've been talking about the Facebook page, you know what? Yeah, leave a review on Facebook. I've also been leaving the email address. We've got an email address. I've been leaving that in the episode description, so you can get a hold of us that way. Leave reviews, leave comments. Let us know what you like about the episode, what you don't like, and we'll get the call you guys to respond to us out of the way before I forget to put that in. A lot of times I've forgotten, and then I've had to add it in afterwards. There's a new band out called Saved by Scarlet, and I'm bringing this up because they're a fairly heavy band. They fit our wheelhouse, our format of music to talk about, and they got reviewed. They got a new album out I don't know what. They got a new EP, which looks like it's been a bunch of previously released songs and now put together as an EP type of thing. So a lot of bands have been doing this, releasing just a bunch of songs, and then after they've got a bunch of songs out, decide they're going to put out an EP or put out an album afterwards type of thing. And I think that's what these guys have done. You know what? And we got a new segment here called Plug It In. So we're going to talk about them on Plug It In. Time to plug it in and turn it up. On Plug It In today, Saved by Scarlet. This is a fairly new band. Haven't been around very long. We've got Nathan Middleton on vocals, Matthew Middleton on lead guitar, so I'm assuming those guys are related somehow, probably brothers. That seems to be the case a lot of times. Alex Hare on guitar, and Dallin Schrader on drums. This is a brand new song from a brand new band called Saved by Scarlet.
Chasing down the beast that brought this pain. When you hear the bells at dawn, standing up, you're not the only one. How can I feel safe now that you're gone? Like a black knight riding into the storm. Hold on to me as we rise to defend. Be the hope as we're fighting the dragon again. Your hands, they shake, proceeding towards your fate. Lives of others now are resting upon your name. When all is said and done, we will rise like angels into the sun. How can I feel safe now that you're gone? Like a black knight riding into the storm. Hold on to me as we rise to defend. Be the hope as we're fighting the dragon again.
There we go. Saved by Scarlet. Okay. And last thing on news, let's get to birthdays. This has been a long news segment.
Probably a lot of birthdays you have to catch up on, I would think.
Starting April 15th. Yes, April 15th. Of the band Demon Hunter, Patrick Judge, born 1987. And we got Ben Cassica, formerly of Skillet. Born 1984. Ben Cassica played guitar with Skillet from 2001 to 2011. And then on April 16th, from the band Jerusalem, Klaus Underhill, 1961, born.
Wow, that's old. That is an old band, Jerusalem. Wow.
Yeah, we might have to talk about them some episode.
Yes.
You know, we've got a lot. We're just starting out here. We're just kind of
We're just starting here, fans.
We've got lots of stuff to talk about. We got lots of stuff to talk about in the coming episodes and years and weeks and and then April 17th. You know, like 3 days in a row here. April 17th, from the band Pillar, fairly new band. Noah Henson, born 1981. And then April 22nd, again from the band Jerusalem, although this isn't a birthday, this is an anniversary of a death day. Dane Gunsmo, I think I'm saying that correctly, hopefully. He died in 2016. And should we go right up to the end of April? Yeah, I guess we should go up to the end of April. Oh, yeah, we got lots to go because we didn't do birthdays last time.
No, because we had that special.
Right. Okay. April 27th, from the band Leviticus.
Ooh.
Born Strigson, born 1951. And then April 28th, again from the band Pillar, Lester Estelle, the second. Lester Estelle from Pillar, born 1981. April 29th, we've got, I didn't write down what he played, but we got George Oka, born 1962. This is a heavy thrash guy. He played with Deliverance, Vengeance Rising, and Mortification.
Vengeance Rising. Oh, that brings back memories. Oh, yeah.
And when I was kind of, researching these guys and birthdays and who's who and who played with who type of thing, there is a lot of members that have kind of interchanged. They went from Deliverance, they went into Vengeance, or they started out with one band and they morphed into Vengeance, and then when that fell apart, they morphed into Mortification and this and that. Speaking of which, actually, this isn't about Vengeance or Mortification, but on the heavier side of things, Tourniquet is back for all respective purposes. Now, Ted Kirkpatrick has passed away, but on Immortal
Fest... Wait. What did you just say?
Ted Kirkpatrick has passed away. Like, this is old news.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, this was like long before we even started the podcast.
Okay.
I'll have to write down.
Who's the vocalist now for Tourniquet?
I'm not sure, but on the Immortal Fest, there is a band called STB, as in Stop the Bleeding, and it's all former members of Tourniquet with a new drummer. Yeah.
So they're just coming back, but under a different name.
Basically, yes.
Okay.
Our drummer replaced Ted, and a new name. And what do we got here? Okay.
That's more day. Like what, a 25-year break.
Yeah. Well, was it White Cross took like 15 years, I think it was.
Yeah. Oh well, I guess you get married, you have kids, you know.
Yeah. On to one more day, April 2nd, Larry Farkas. Again, same three bands. Born 1966. Played with Vengeance Rising, Deliverance. Also played with Holy Soldier and Die Happy. Now, Die Happy actually was a band that came out of Vengeance Rising when Roger Martinez left and kind of walked away from the faith. The rest of the members of Vengeance decided to carry on, but they weren't quite as heavy as Vengeance was anymore. So they renamed themselves under the band Die Happy and stuff. So you'll
Okay.
yeah, so
Okay.
you'll have a lot of crossover of
Yep.
members, and especially with Die Happy. Die Happy came out of Vengeance Rising type of thing. So there's a lot of former members with both bands.
That's such a tough group to be in because they're so heavy. Most churches are gonna just totally stay away.
Well, that was
Because I mean,
yes,
you
but
gotta have good infrastructure back. You gotta have some good security there. I mean,
th-
pastors are a little scared. Yeah.
that was started by the Sanctuary group actually with Pastor Bob Beeman
Oh, okay.
and stuff like this. I think they
Yeah.
wanted an answer for all the thrash scene that was going on in the secular world, and said, you know what, we need a Christian thrash group, and kind of formed a band around that idea type of thing. All right. So our main topic today, I hope I didn't overwhelm you throwing all this music at you.
No, it was good. It was good.
You know?
I just decided I'd sit here and let the birthdays come.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about today's topic. A few years back. But anyways, a few years back with the release of Ghost Ship. That year it came out. It made the top list of some person's list. They said, here's a bunch of new albums, Christian albums you should check out from this past year. And I never heard of this band. This, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about the band Theocracy.
Yes.
So I never heard of this band until that year, the year Ghost Ship was released. And like I said, it made the list of a couple best of lists for that year. I thought, okay, I'll check this out. Listen to a sample of their music going, this is good. Like when I first sent you a couple of videos, what did you reply with? You came back and said,
I was actually pleasantly surprised. I was impressed.
yeah, I think you came back and I messaged you. I said, here, check out these. And I think I sent you Paper Tiger and the song Ghost Ship. And you said, man, these guys are good. They rock.
Yeah, I like Paper Tiger. That's a good. Their video is even cooler.
I don't even know if I've sat down and listened to videos. I've just been listening to music. And
I do both.
I've been gorging myself on Theocracy the last couple of weeks there since we decided. This podcast is all about new music as well as the old music. And we haven't talked about new music for a while.
No.
So I thought, well, here's a band I know a little bit about. They've got 5 albums out. I've listened to a little bit of at the time, I listened to a little bit of the new one called Mosaic. And I thought, this is good. It's definitely in the style of what they've been doing. If you're a fan of the
They
previous
almost
stuff.
remind me of Creed.
Creed.
Yeah,
I,
but heavier.
I
One
don't know how
step
you get.
heavier.
I don't know how you get the Creed comparison. They've been compared to a lot of stuff. Trying to think of who was comparing them or what bands they were compared to. They're fast. They're almost
Or
speed. A little bit.
what's that band?
Uh,
The not Petra. Pantera.
Pantera, no.
Pantera. That's what it was.
I think they're more like Yngwie Malmsteen as far as doing a lot of speed melodic solos and stuff like this.
Yeah, their solos blew me away.
And they are fast. This is a band actually formed from Matt Smith, who does the vocals. He is a former guitarist, so I'm not sure if he helps write the music, but he was a guitarist. Decided to write some songs and recorded the first album, which came out in 2003. He got a group around him then to play on the album and carry on. Since then, they've released Mirror of Souls in 2008, As the World Bleeds in 2011, which I picked up. Oh, here we are,
Yeah.
Ghost Ship, released in 2016. So at the end of 2016, when they made the list, and said this is an album worth checking out from the past year, I did check them out. Thought it was really good. Picked it up, and yeah. So since 2016, I've been a fan of these guys. Last year in 2023, they released Mosaic. The rest of the band consists of Ernie Topran on drums, Jared Oldham on bass, and on guitars they got Jonathan Hines and Taylor Washington and stuff. So anyways, yeah, I sent you links and to the playlist of all the various albums, and so we should kind of pick out one or two songs off each album that we think we really like or stand out for us.
Yeah.
I was going to change a couple songs on my list, and then I forgot what I was going to change them to.
Come on.
This has been a busy week for me. And so what I wrote down for the first album was the song Mountain and then the song Sinner.
Oh, okay.
And Mountain's good. It's the typical Theocracy sound, heavy, fast, a lot of speed, leads. When you're trying to describe this band, it's hard to say what they sound like.
I know.
This is a band that the sound has their own sound. They're fast. They got speed leads, kind of like Yngwie Malmsteen. Although Yngwie, I think, just plays too much, way too much. That doesn't make any sense. Where these guys, it makes sense. There's a purpose to the solos, even though it's fast, even though it's speed. You can tell there's a purpose to it, and they're definitely prog metal, I guess is the best way to describe it, because not all their songs are under 5 minutes. In fact, they've got songs that are 7, 10.
I know.
And on the last album, they got one that with Red Sea goes 20 minutes long.
I know. I was like, how do you perform that in live? Like, that's got to be incredible.
Well, they might not.
No.
Was it on the one album Iron Maiden did there? They got this 20-minute song that I wish they would have cut it down to play live, or at the very least, as the band was done and they're playing music over the PA, I wish they would have played this over the PA, and they never did. Iron Maiden's got a 20-minute song there called Empire from the Sun off the Book of Souls, which is a great song, but you'll never hear that live.
I wonder if that was like they were at practice and they started and then they just kept going and going.
Well, you know what? In Iron Maiden's on the last one there, Senjutsu, they've got a lot of lengthy songs, and they piece it together in the studio, where they would play a section of a song and record it, play another section, and then piece it together in the recording. So maybe they've done that before, anyways.
Maybe. Yeah.
So off the first album, the Theocracy, which was originally recorded in 2003, also got re-recorded, I think, with the full band lineup in 2013. Were there any songs in there that kind of stood out for you?
I actually just checked out the songs that you sent me.
Oh, okay.
So the Paper
Tiger?
The Paper Tiger. And then what was the other one on there?
Ghost Ship. the title track from
Yeah,
Ghost Ship.
yeah. So I really liked the Paper Tiger song. I listened to that like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah,
It was pretty good. Yeah.
that one definitely made my list for that album. On Mirror of Souls, I should send this to you. There's a couple that on there, and I was listening this week. I kept thinking, oh, I should change my list, or change it up this way or that way, or whatever. There's a song, and this wasn't a short song either. I think this was 7-10 minute song called "Laying Demon to Rest," and it's a really good song. I think it's all about temptation and overcoming temptation and fighting the
Which album was that on?
Mirror of Souls, released
Okay.
2008. There's another one on there called Eagle's Wings, which I'd written down.
Yes, I heard that. That was pretty cool. I liked it.
And stuff.
If we ever get the pre-interview, I want to talk about that song.
Okay, yeah. It's possible. Someone was on Facebook. They're talking about how much they like Theocracy, how much, and I don't know what song it was, but how one of their songs helped them through some difficult times. And one of the comments to that post was from Matt Smith's mom. The mother of Matt Smith, who does the vocals for the band.
Oh. Now, I'm interested. We got to interview these guys. The songwriting. Interesting.
We'll see what we can do. There's some interesting when we get a little later into Mosaic and talk about that album.
Yeah.
There's some
Are they
dark
American?
themes. What's that?
Are they based out of the U.S.?
Yes, they're from. Okay. They're from Athens, Georgia.
Georgia. Oh, not too far from Sweet Crystal. That's interesting.
Sweet Crystal's from Detroit.
Oh yeah, they were in Michigan, right? Never mind. I thought there was a link there.
No link.
Maybe they know him. You never know.
Oh, I don't know. Well, Sweet Crystal sticks pretty much around the Detroit or Michigan area anyway. So, and if you don't know what we're talking about when we mentioned Sweet Crystal, that was a band we had, like I said, did an interview with the singer, songwriter, and keyboardist, all wrapped into one. So that was on our last podcast. So check that out if you haven't checked it out.
Yeah, go check it out. Listen to it. Let us know what you think,
and
let us know if there are questions you guys want out there asked when we talk to bands. Shoot us questions, because sometimes we can run out.
Well, then we gotta let them know who we're talking to ahead of time too.
Yeah, that's right.
On the album from Theocracy, As the World Bleeds, there was a couple on there. Oh, I wish I could call that up. Now, off the album As the World Bleeds.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, I had listed songs that stood out for me. Was a song called Nailed. And if you listen to the words, that's really about Martin Luther and the Reformation of the start of the Reformation. Really about Martin Luther nailing his 30, I should know this too, 30s or 33 theses to the church door. They're talking about all the reformations that the Catholic Church needed to change because they had gone away from the faith type of thing. Which is a song that's kind of close to my heart because I was raised within the Lutheran Church and still attend the Lutheran Church. And whatever denomination you want to attend or go to is fine with me. For me personally, I'm attend a Lutheran Church and like what they do there. And this song about Martin Luther and starting the Reformation just kind of hit home to my heart for me type of thing. So that's why it was on my list. One of the other songs on my list was a song called I Am, which is a great song. Again, it's not one of their shortest songs. It's an 11-minute song.
Oh, my.
But it's a great song. It starts out talking about I am, the great I am, but it talks about everything we need and how that's what God is, type of thing. And stuff, whatever, it starts talking about all the goodness. I am the sunrise, I am the flowers, I am, the mountains, I am this and that, all the goodness that you can find within the world. I am, God is. But then it goes even deeper than that and goes beyond, just the goodness in the world. We lost you there for a sec, Chris. Oh, anyways, now you're back. And talks about, God being not just the goodness, but everything that we need, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought it was a good song too. Another good one from that album, and I know I was only going to pick a couple, but the two albums I bought there, As the World Bleeds, and there was actually a lot of good songs on there. I could easily pick a bunch of. Another one I liked off there was Hide in the Fairy Tale. And just the way that whole melody of the chorus worked, I thought it was really cool. That's one of their average type of songs. That's only 4.5 minutes song.
Oh, wow.
But another thing that caught my ear off of there was, and I just emailed you this, I think it was either this morning or late last night there. There was a single available called The Wages of Sin. Now, this is a fast, super fast song, only a 3.5 minute song, and it's like they really went all out as far as how fast and how can we play type of thing.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking about. Yeah.
But I think originally it was released on the album As the World Bleeds, and it was on the import album. So if you bought this in Japan or overseas somewhere, it was on the album As the World Bleeds. It was not available on the album here in the US or North America or Canada or any place like this, but released later as a separate single type of thing.
Really?
Yeah. But it's a great song. When I was looking at it, I thought, oh, that's a great song to buy type of thing. And so I did. And then we move on to, I even got digital booklets. So I got all the lyrics to Ghost Ship. I think I got a digital booklet for the other one too. Here's a question. When you buy your music, do you buy the physical format or the digital format?
Single format.
Single, okay.
That seems to fit on my phone.
Oh, okay. So you buy just a song, or do you buy the digital song then?
I just used to. I don't think I have. Well, I have some full albums, like probably like Bon Jovi. Yeah, so I'll just buy singles.
Okay.
I'll listen to the songs first, and I'll find ones that I like.
Right.
I mean, I probably won't get a whole album unless it's amazing, right?
Yeah, like typically when I buy music, I'm kind of getting back into buying actual physical CDs.
Physical albums. I don't know where to buy them besides Walmart, but then every time I'm in Walmart, I forget. So
Walmart
that's
doesn't have music anymore.
okay. Well, never mind.
Yeah, so you won't find them at Walmart. And fortunately, yeah, the bands that we like, the bands we talk about, don't get sold at Sunrise Music or the music stores anymore either,
Yes,
and stuff like this.
right.
Um, you might find Stryper there. Uh, even that's doubtful type of thing. And Stryper's usually on a mainstream label type of thing. But you can buy through Amazon, and actually, and I'm slowly buying albums. For a while there, I didn't have money to buy physical copies. I would buy the digital stuff through. Anyways, uh, so for a while I was buying the digital stuff, and I would buy them. Like I don't do streaming. I'll stream stuff if I bought the album, or I stream stuff because I'm discovering a band type of thing like that. That's how that goes. I try not to only stream. Put it that way. If I don't have money for the full album, but like the album, I'll buy the digital album because it's cheaper than the physical format. But I do try and support the bands when I can, and slowly starting buying albums and stuff like this again.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we're on a Ghost Ship, which again came out in 2016 when I first discovered them, which for me would have been 2017 or the start of 2017. Yeah, Paper Tiger, great song. Paper Tiger and Ghost Ship start
Yeah.
the first two
Wow.
songs on the album. Start the album off this way, and what a way to start the album,
Totally.
The overall album, album for Ghost Ship is pretty average. I'm looking at the track listing, and most of the songs are about 5 minutes. They go 4 to 5 minutes, with the exception being the last song, a song called Easter, which I think was on my list for Easter songs. But their
Okay.
song Easter is 10 minutes long, like 9 minutes 53 seconds.
That's wow. I wonder what their airplay is like, for their singles, like that long. If
Well,
radio stations are playing them.
I don't think they are. No, they might.
No.
No, they might on Christian metal stations. Remember, we're in the digital age where, first of all, Christian bands never got a lot of airplay anyways, and these are bands that are heavier that wouldn't be on CCM stations anyways. They're not on
Yeah,
Shrine. They're not on
that's true.
your station that's going to turn around and play Amy Grant's next, or the Newsboys after these guys. Yeah,
That's the first time we've talked about Amy Grant. That's awesome.
it might be the only time you hear them on here.
Oh, come on. We can play her video after, No, not
Anyways,
here.
yeah, it doesn't fit our wheelhouse.
And I hope our fans hear that Aaron had no comment about the Amy Grant.
I brought it up because you're not going to hear a Theocracy song and then an Amy Grant right after that. Is the only reason I brought it up.
That would be, that's...
You might go from Theocracy to Stryper, or from Theocracy to Skillet, or somebody like that type of thing.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Or Skillet.
Yeah, but, radio is one of those things where radio likes sticking with classics, the well-known. They don't take chance on new bands. There's tons and tons of Christian metal internet stations out there, and I listen to a few of them myself now, and they might get played on something like that type of thing. I think these days, though, and even talking with my kids, they don't listen to radio at all. So radio is not a factor. It's word of mouth and playlist and streaming and stuff, which is good for getting music known. But I think people should be out there going to shows when those shows come around to their city, out there buying the music, and I'm doing that actually I started getting into a band that's been around 20, 30 years, and I'm slowly going to start buying all their albums. And I'm talking about the band Narnia, a great Christian,
Narnia. Okay.
yeah, great Christian metal band. Again, out of the Netherlands. I think they're out of Sweden. I didn't want to inundate you with a ton of music, which I did for this episode, saying, "Hey, check out all this stuff." And I just threw all 5 albums at you at once.
That's awesome.
I think next time we try and do something like this, talk about new band, and instead of talking about the entire catalog of band, even if they only got 3 to 5 records out, we'll pick a record, say let's focus on this one and talk about it, type of thing. But you know, and then we get into the last record, Mosaic, from Theocracy. They got some really lengthy songs, 7-minute songs, 10-minute songs. Again, the last song, Red Sea, is 20 minutes long.
That was
long. I don't even think I've heard the entire song of that one. And I like long songs. I got nothing against it. I'm a Iron Maiden fan. I bought Senjutsu, and they've got lengthy songs on there. And I can sit there and go, okay, this is kind of cool, and follow the progression of the music through it. They're what you call a prog band, because they don't worry about condensing everything into 3 minutes or 3 or 4 minutes. If they got something to say musically, they get it out there. And as I've been listening to Mosaic, although they don't sound like James Hetfield, I think they were inspired by Metallica. There's a lot of Metallica sounding riffs coming across their stuff. And Metallica was, especially in the early days, didn't worry about getting radio play. Didn't worry about making a single.
That's right.
Yeah. They wrote Master of Puppets 1. These were not short songs, type of thing. They had something to say musically, and they got it out there, and took as much time as they needed. Well, Theocracy is doing the same thing too. They don't worry about how long a song is or how short a song is. They got something to say musically, they get it out there. And there were times when I followed the musical progression. Can't remember what track that kind of drew my attention. It might have been Laying the Demon to Rest, off of Mirror Souls, and just listening, going from here to there to there to there, and kind of following the progression as they don't keep the same rhythms. They'll jump rhythms. They'll jump. It's not just the same rhythm with a bunch of lead work over it. It's like, okay, we'll do this, and then we jump into this, and then we jump into this, and jump back to this, and I'm like, this is kind of cool, but it doesn't always. No, maybe 20 minutes might bore you, but
that's right. You got to be a special kind of. You got to be into music to be able to sit there for 20 minutes and to be engaged in it.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas some of us, like me, I got disengaged after maybe 10. I'm like, okay, that's enough. and that you're the way you said, the early days of Metallica, and that was my first thought too when I started listening to one of their longer songs. I'm like, hey, these guys really sound like in the old day, right, of Metallica.
Yeah.
Master of Puppets. They were like 7, 8, 9. I put it in the tape recorder, play it, and it would be like an hour of just that's all.
But to me, they're more like a metal version of Rush.
Yes, that I could see that. Yeah.
Where they would take a song, like I said, go in one direction and then jump another direction. So they're almost like a Christian version of Iron Maiden, but they don't sound like Iron Maiden. They definitely don't sound like Bruce Dickinson. They was one of the songs, I think it might have been Mosaic. One of the songs, anyways, did have that galloping rhythm that Iron Maiden used to do all the time. And
okay,
I think it was Mosaic, where it started off a little slower, and then it built up, and then it jumped right into the fast-paced stuff. And when it jumped into the faster stuff, it had that dun 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 dun, and going, very reminiscent of Maiden. The guitars, don't sound like anybody. The guitars for Theocracy have their own tone. They definitely don't sound like anyone else.
And they sure love their guitar solos, which I like. That's pretty cool.
Oh, it's great. I'm a guitar guy. I got no problem with their solos. The only thing that, as far as their sound goes, the only problem I have is it's all in the upper register. The guitar tone is set on basically on the treble. I think they need to add more bass or bring the bass up higher in the mix.
Yeah.
Matt Smith sings in the higher registers with his voice. They got the guitars up there with the high treble going, and the upper registers of the guitar tone. And I can listen to a few songs at a time. I have a tough time listening to an entire album at once, just because it's so much in the same register.
Yeah, and that, I mean, it suits him. I mean, it really does. He knows how to do it. So I'd like to see how many times they did that rehearsal,
Right.
right? Like, I mean, a band like this for vocalist, you really got to be on your toes. Like, you really got to take your breaths very quickly, calm down, and then recharge again because you're just going. Like,
Just going and going.
where
It's like the
that's
Energizer
right.
Bunny. It
So
just keeps
if it
going.
was like Petra, at least in Petra they make it where John Schultz has time to recuperate and get ready. But for these guys, wow.
Oh,
I mean, they just go. And I mean, our fans understand. They practice this, I'm sure, 3-4 times a week. You know, I'm sure they look good in concert.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Theocracy is like the Energizer Bunny. Once you hit go, they don't stop.
That's what they're like the Christian Bunny. Yeah, just they go,
But
yeah.
no, Matt Smith has got a great voice, and he's on top of his game, definitely vocal wise and stuff like that. And they don't vary their tempo. It's not like they write a lot of ballads. They don't really write ballads. There's a couple of songs that start off slower, then build up and go. But once a full song kicks in, man, do they go and
they go, yeah. they yeah, it's all in. They're all in.
On the album Mosaic, a couple of songs that I thought stood out was the title track Mosaic, which I think, again, if I remember correctly, because I've been listening so much of their stuff this past week or two, but I think it's one of the songs, again, that starts off a little softer for a couple measures and then boots up and kicks in. But when you listen to the words, it's a great song lyrically. It's all talking about the broken piece of our lives, how we're broken pieces, and God takes those pieces and puts them together like one big mosaic, one big reminds me of the cover, the stained glass. It takes all these broken pieces of glass, different colored glass, and puts together and makes something beautiful out of it. And that's what God does. And then
Amen.
another song that stood out for me was one of their lengthier songs, not the 20-minute one, but Sin City's Dogs of War. I think this was a 7 or 8 minute song, but the guitar playing on this was just incredible, man. It just blew me away.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So that's what I got to say about Theocracy.
Awesome. If anybody knows Theocracy, shoot them an email and let us know. We'd love to talk to them.
And yeah, I guess we'll talk to you later. And cue music. We're on our way out. Oh, keep on rocking and God bless.
Yeah, keep rocking. See you later. Have a good week to all our fans, and we'll talk to you later on the Rock and Metal Faith podcast.
Can I hit stop?
We rise above